This video is brought to you by Longoni Cues.
Hi pool player, let me ask you an honest question. In your safety play, do you find that this is happening to you? Or perhaps you're leaving a lot of windows like this. Are you maybe hitting the object ball too thick? Or worst case, not making contact at all? These are very common errors in safety play, but don't worry, I got you covered. In this new series called Safety First, I'm gonna cover 5 killer safety drills that are gonna boost your safety game beyond belief. I can say this to you from first-hand experience because up until 2013, I was always a really good offensive player, but my defense was lacking a little bit. I was struggling with the same errors that you might have. I started working with these safety drills and I just skyrocketed in my safety play. This won me a World Pool Masters in 2013, a Euro Tour, European Championship titles, 2014 World 9-Ball title, and I went on to win 6 more titles in a row from that point after the world title. And it wasn't always because my offense was so good. It was also because in the moments that I wasn't red hot, my safety play was backing me up and giving me more and more opportunities. And that's what I want to share with you. So let's jump onto the pool table now and start with chapter number 1 called the 4 squares. When I started to develop myself on the pro tour and had a few years under my belt, I found out that it wasn't so much all about offense and running racks. There's a ton of guys that can do that. The key thing is it's about winning the battle for the first shot. And that's where your safety game comes into play big time. The question for me though was always, how do I practice my safeties? I could maybe set up a single shot and maybe practice that a little bit. Or the only routine we really knew was try to 3-foul each other or play up to 10 fouls. But there wasn't enough repetition in those shots and drills to give me a clear arsenal and power in my safety game. Thanks to Alex Lely in 2013, he started giving me safety drills and I was just eating them up. I was so ready for them. I was practicing them a lot and the results came super quick, and that's what I also want for you right now. So this is the opening drill in the series and it's called the 4 squares. Why? Because there's going to be 4 zones on the table that we can put the cue ball in. The first zone is on this side, first diamond, it's a square. The second one is on the other side, and then there's 2 on this side of the table. So 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. The drill is done in this way. We have to make contact with the 1 ball, obviously, and then put the cue ball in one of these 4 squares. We have to call beforehand which square we're going to play. And here's a big rule. The cue ball has to cross the middle of the table at least once. So you cannot later on play a little small safety like this. That is not allowed because the cue ball has to cross the middle of the table at least once. From that side, we would have to go over the middle of the table and use that square here, for example. Make this fun for yourself. Do a race to 30. Maybe play 10 ahead, 6 ahead. That means if you do 2 good ones in a row, you're scoring 2. If you then make a mistake, you're back to 1. Another mistake brings you back to 0, so you have to get 6 ahead. And what is this going to do for you, you might think? Well, you're going to get a lot of repetition. A lot of certain types of shots will come up time and time again, and you're going to hone your skills. Your touch will get better. Your direction will get better because you're going to avoid the scratch and come in off the short rail or off the long rail into this square, for example. You're going to get way more confidence. Your safety game is really going to improve. Let's see if I can pull off a nice run for you guys to show you how it's done. I'm going to start by just lagging the cue ball here in the right corner. And here Right away is an interesting shot. I'm going to cross the cue ball over and try and land in that zone there. We're not worried about the object ball here. All we're worried about is putting the cue ball in that zone and finding that touch and direction and speed. Here we're crossing over. And I can do it again if I like, or I can roll it in that zone there. You can make it as hard and as fun for yourself as you want. I'm going to try again to cross over there. So I'm overcutting this ball. Little bit of right spin. Nicely done. Here I'm going to play off the rail down to that zone there. I have to be careful I don't make the ball or even bank it here. So I'm going to try and bank it to the middle of the diamond. One tip of high left as I see it here to bring me there to the corner. Just overran my mark slightly as I see, but that's okay. This shot comes up all the time, guys. 1, 2, 3 rails and potentially 4 into this zone. Comes up all the time in your 9-ball games. You will learn to avoid the scratch and hit that rail there and come into that zone. Here we're going to play thin on the left side, crossover 1, 2, maybe 3 rails into this zone here. Nice thin hit, tough one there, needed a few tries on that one. Here we could also just roll it into that zone. On the left, that comes up a lot. Always looks easier than it is. Now I'm going to go to the top right. You see this repetition coming in. And it really becomes a lot of fun when you can start running 5s and 10s maybe. See, here's that shot again, going 1, 2, 3, back around. If you want to execute that one. Coming off the 4th rail on the other side. Hair too hard. I'm just going to roll it into that zone there now. I'm going to show you a couple more examples of shots that come up a lot and how to execute them. For me, this is an example of the rule where I don't want to cross the middle of the table because I think this shot is very useful. Personally, I make the exception here. Going 2 rails back to my zone. Very handy little shot. Good speed control. This shot comes up all the time from various positions. We can go 2 rails this way or we can go 2 rails that way into this zone. Very handy shot, guys. You need to master this one. Comes up all the time. You can also play 3 cushion style types of shots. Like this one with high right, swinging it a couple of rails around for the same zone where the 1 ball is now. If I can avoid the double kiss and the scratch. Or even going the other way, 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 rails that way. Careful you don't bank the 1 into a pocket. Here it comes. Fun stuff to experiment with. Now I'm really going to bear down and show you guys an 8+ run. All right, I think that was about 10. Butchered that one. Hard to do, guys. I need a few tries on this. Don't be discouraged in the beginning. In the beginning, you might mess up a lot of shots, but slowly but surely you will get the hang of different kind of situations. They will be more repetitive. You'll get more confidence. You'll start executing them better. Find that zone. Find those rails and not the scratch, or even land short of the scratch. And you will just get better and better and better. But you have to put the time in. It's not going to come by itself. I also had to put the time in just like you. I couldn't make a 10 or a 12 right from the start when I started doing this. It was 3s, 4s, 2s. You're also allowed to kick at a ball if you want. If the object ball is right here, you can kick it out, leave the cue ball in the corner. If you pocket the object ball, it comes back on the spot. If you're sparring with somebody, then you lose your inning. And only on the first shot is the object ball here and the cue ball here. If the cue ball scratches, you also lose an inning if you're sparring, and that's about it. There you go, pool players. This is powerful material, and I strongly recommend that you put this in your workout routines. This is gonna elevate your safety game so much, I promise you. Do this and the benefits are yours. Stay tuned for more safety drills. There will be links in the description below. And please check out all the other great content on this channel. There's tips and lessons here uploaded weekly. And if you're interested in the mental side of the game, don't forget to head over to terminatorcollege.com and check out all those courses that are waiting there for you. Take care.